best morning show on the globe. It's Brandon and Emery in the morning, y'all. LeBron or Jordan, either one when I'm performing. Crossover, buzzer beater and I'm scoring. Bradham and Emery in the morning. Every play they on it. Every day I'm balling. Who's the coach? Who's the GOAT? Like Brady and Belichick, best show on the globe. And they embellish it. Y'all paying Ziffy, I'm Ken Griffey or maybe Mahomes. I stay in the zone, whether man to man or play in the zone. They can't stop me. Mayweather boxing, Curry with the shot, man. We just the best to be. Can we have our SP, please? This was meant to be. Every morning with Bradham and Emery.
Yes, sir. You know the vibes. Brad in the morning. Marques, Brown, Justin, Emery.
Yo.
So most of you out there know who are watching or listening to the show right now that I am a married man. And I will add on to that, I'm a happily married man. There's a lot of unhappy married people out there. We got to acknowledge that. But I'm a happy married man. I have found my soulmate. I have found my queen. I found my best friend, the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. Undoubtedly, no question. Now,
I have a question, though, and this may be severely off topic.
Okay.
But you just mentioned it, so I got to bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you want to be unhappily married?
That baffles me. That's why you got to make sure you do the vetting process. I mean, like, in both ways. I'm not just talking about on my end, on the other person's end too. Like, for me, marriage is a serious deal. That's why I waited so late in my life to get married, because when I do it, I plan on being with that person forever. I take my vows very seriously. I'm not out here like these, celebrities and people who feel like you left a wet rag on the floor, so now I have to divorce you. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, it's forever unless you start worshiping Satan. That's about the only reason why I'm going to get out of this agreement.
Or if you were in DC on my birthday.
Yeah. So, I say that to talk about there are rules to this and rules to be successful in marriage. And one of the unwritten rules that I feel like that people don't adhere to is the lust angle of marriage. For instance, if you're watching a TV show, right, and you're sitting there with your spouse or your girl or your man, whatever, you're watching a TV show, and a woman comes on the screen that is a good-looking woman. What are the answers you give? Do you say, damn, babe, she's hot? Wrong. You know what you're supposed to say? You can acknowledge beauty. You can say, hey, that's a beautiful woman. Just like the other way around. You got a handsome man comes on the screen. Do you hear with the, wow, he's hot. Look at him. Look at that body. No, he's a handsome man. You can acknowledge beauty. I don't expect her not to see a man that's not me and say that man's not handsome. Just like she understands that I'm going to see and recognize a beautiful woman. But you don't take it too far. That's the important part. I'm having an issue right now. Big time issue. And it has nothing to do, I'm not going to get myself in trouble. It has nothing to do with my marriage. But I use that same analogy when it comes to sports. See, I'm usually really good at acknowledging players on their teams. And I'm usually really good at looking at a player and saying, man, like, look, for instance, Luka, you know how much I love Luka Doncic.
Oh, yes.
I love Luka. And, but I keep it separate from my love for the Sixers. If Luka came to the Wells Fargo Center, I would be able to admire his game, but my loyalty would still lie with my team. And I wouldn't go overboard. I'm not going to wear a Luka jersey there. I'm not going to be cheering every time he makes a basket. I'm not doing that because that's saying Luka's hot. Can't do that. That's wrong.
What if
that's lusting?
I may have lusted then. I have to confess.
Listen, because here's the deal. Because Justin, I gotta tell you, we talked about the games on Monday. We got into the games, right? But what I didn't get a chance to say, we spent a lot of time on the games, is that Sunday I was extremely lustful. I got some lust issues. I'm sorry, Saturday and Sunday. I'm watching Joe Burrow on Saturday. I'm watching Tom Brady and Matt Stafford Sunday afternoon, followed by Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes Sunday night. I'm lusting. I'm getting lustful. Like, this isn't I wasn't acknowledging the greatness of these guys. I was lustfully wishing they were here. And I've never done that before. And I want to get, your opinion on this. People, I feel like I'm wrong for that because again, I use the analogy when you're with, and a lot of people, you know what, too? A lot of people make that mistake and get themselves in trouble. I want you guys to ask you the question out there. Anyone who's been in a relationship before? Because I've done it before. Looked at a girl in previous relationships, like, oh, that girl's hot, and then wondering why my girl's hit me with the side eye. Like it doesn't feel good, or done the other side around where that guy's hot. You get it hurts. It hits you here, but it's very different that acknowledging beauty. Just like it's different now for me this weekend watching these quarterbacks. I was lustful. I wanted them. I wanted them to be my quarterback, and like that's I acknowledge that's wrong, but here we are.
If that's wrong, I don't want to be right. Because I lust over other players all of the time.
You're a lustful man.
Yeah. I do have to admit, though, I did it one time at a Sixers game.
Ooh.
However, I feel like it was slightly different circumstances.
Okay.
It was a Lakers-Sixers game at the Wells Fargo. And I rocked a Western Conference All-Star jersey. I almost said West Coast. Western Conference All-Star Kobe jersey at the game.
2 years ago today. Rest in peace.
Yep. Yes.
Wow. I mean,
I was about to say tomorrow, but you are correct. It is today.
Yeah, man. Listen, you gotta acknowledge you're wrong there. You can't do that.
During the commercial break, I'm about to go change into that jersey.
We can't be out here lusting. See, you can acknowledge other players. You can acknowledge guys are good, and you can say I like the game. That's
the only time I ever wore a jersey for a different team to a Philadelphia event. Now, like I said, it was a Western Conference All-Star jersey. It wasn't like a Lakers jersey, but it was still Kobe. It was still 24 Kobe. Now I do own other jerseys of other players that are not Eagles players.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I have a Boston Celtics Rondo jersey.
And jerseys are just part of the culture. It became part of the culture, especially when you were growing up. It was like peak, and now I'm happy they're back again. They were gone for a little bit, but now they're back again. And like it's rocking. Like I used to rock jerseys for color schemes. Like I like the colors, so I'm wearing this jersey. But I don't think that was putting the actual player on it. But now, like I said, this past weekend, it's hard, man. It's hard to look at what we saw 2 weeks ago. Because here's the end of the story. You watch the end. Just look at the end of the Chiefs-Bills game. That last 2 minutes. You don't have to talk about anything more but the last 2 minutes of that game. Knowing what we know, watching that game, thinking about what you saw all year, this offense couldn't keep up with that.
Oh, stop it! That would be a 50-10 game against
this offense couldn't do that.
So yesterday I went through the quarterback rankings.
Mm-hmm.
I should say my quarterback rankings, which are the official quarterback rankings, as we all know.
Yes, correct.
In the AFC, at best, Jalen Hurts is the 10th best quarterback. In the NFC, he's probably about 8. Okay, so let's go through, and we're going to just do a quick run through of any quarterback that may be above them. Okay. So, and the question is strictly quarterback for this team versus Jalen Hurts. Who would you rather have? Okay.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson. Joe Burrow.
Jackpot Joe.
Let's make the assumption it's Baker Mayfield. So Baker Mayfield.
I go Jalen Hurts.
Okay. I would agree with you on that.
And honestly, it's just because of the turnovers.
Yeah, Baker
Mayfield makes ridiculous mistakes.
Let's make the assumption it's...
they're basically the same. In a lot of ways, they're basically the same quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, someone's actually said
Baker has a better arm.
Jalen Hurts is Baker Mayfield with no commercials.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield has a better arm, but Jalen has obviously much more mobility.
Right.
Let's make the assumption it's Mason Rudolph.
Jalen Hurts.
Okay. I'm not going to disagree with you there. Okay. Josh Allen.
What? Josh Allen.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones.
I agree with you there. Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson.
Okay, this is the one where I'm going to agree with you just because of the raw talent.
Way higher ceiling.
Yes, that's why I'll agree with you. Though for next year, I think Jalen Hurts would be better.
I would incline to agree with you, but
yes, for the
projected Zach Wilson.
Tua.
I mean, this is another same guy. I mean, this is a toss up, really. I mean, I think this is either or.
Let's give it to Hurts then. If it's ever going to be a toss up, we'll always defer to Hurts.
Okay.
I have no idea who even the quarterback is in Denver, so let's just disregard Denver Broncos.
Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, but is he going to be there next year?
Drew Lock.
Is he going to be there next year?
Probably. Well, I mean, it could be Aaron Rodgers.
So yeah, but let's just it's right now. It's not the Denver Broncos. We know that.
Okay.
So take them out. Obviously Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously Herbert.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr.
You'd rather have Derek Carr than Jalen Hurts?
Yes, 1,000%.
And then Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence.
Okay. Carson.
Jalen.
Who is the Tannehill.
Tannehill.
And then let's make the assumption he's back. Deshaun Watson.
Watson.
Okay, so that means that it is at best Jalen's the 11th best quarterback in the 16-team conference.
Okay.
Let's go to the NFC.
All right.
Okay. Kirk Cousins.
Cousins.
Jared Goff.
Hurts.
Justin Fields.
Fields.
I agree. Obviously Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
Dak. Daniel Jones.
Hurts.
I guess let's make the assumption Taylor Heineke.
Hurts.
Matt Ryan.
This is a tough one. I'll go Hurts.
Sam Darnold.
Hurts.
Jameis Winston.
Hurts.
We're not going to take Tom Brady just because of age. We're like, it's just not feasible that you would take Tom Brady over Jalen Hurts if you were building a team right now.
Right.
Kyler. Matt Stafford. Jimmy G or Trey Lance. Which one do you want to go with there?
Jimmy G and Jimmy.
Russell Wilson.
Russ.
Okay. So there, as at best, he's 9th.
Okay.
So if you put them together, he is at best 20th quarterback in the NFL.
Yep.
And there was a couple where you said Baker, Tua, they're fringe. Carson, I even would say, is fringe.
Yeah.
So he's really...
All three of those could win either way.
He's not really decisively 20. He's more 20 to 25.
Yeah. Here's a question I have for you. So I was thinking about this yesterday. In my lifetime...
A lot of people did not like that drill we just did.
In my lifetime, I have seen Randall Cunningham.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Don McNabb.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Vick.
Yep.
Nick Foles. Carson Wentz. Now we're at Jalen Hurts.
We're not counting all the others in between.
No. I want to... The names are very important. I'm going to say it again. Randall, Donovan, Mike, Nick, Carson, now Jalen. Those are the main names. I'm not going to get into the Rodney Peets and the Pat Robinsons. I mean, Pat Ryans, Brad Gables, Kyle, Kevin Cobb. I'm not getting those.
Kevin Cobbs. What was it? Not Mike McMahon. Wait, what was Mike McMahon?
He's one.
Mike McMahon.
Coy I'm not getting all that because they don't.
Jeff Garcia, Mark Sanchez, Sam Bradford.
Right. They don't matter in this exercise. Those names I bring up because over the course of my life, every one of those names to me, there was some sort of controversy involving those names. Randall Cunningham was, can he read defenses? The aloofness, the awkward interviews, the evolution of his game. Donovan was press conferences and the questioning of his leadership and him being a little passive aggressive and also the deficiencies throwing the football as far as accuracy. Mike Vick, the off the field issues coming in here, being the dog issues and all of that happened, and his redemption. Also with him first coming in, will he be able to get the ball down the field? Can he read defenses? He figured that he definitely did. He definitely proved us wrong on that, but those were questions. Nick Foles' first run, 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Is he the man? Can he be a franchise quarterback? Is he a guy that can be here for the next 10 years? Carson Wentz tears ACL. Everything goes downhill. Nick Foles gets a statue in the second run. All of these people have had controversial tags to them. Yesterday, I was really thinking about this, about all of those quarterbacks and the controversies they endured. And it got me thinking, I don't know, with all of that stuff I just said, I don't know if we've had in this town, this is wild to say. This next statement, wild, because all of those things I just named and all those people I just named, there was so much with them. It was constant talk on sports radio about these quarterbacks. I don't know that we've had as controversial a quarterback in this town as Jalen Hurts. And it's crazy because, he has become lightning rod, polarizing, and maybe in a sense more polarizing than all of these quarterbacks. Because here's the thing with those guys. Randall, Donovan, Mike Vick, Nick Foles, Carson. With those guys, it never was really a question of talent. Like, we never really questioned, are these guys talented? This is the first quarterback we're having a true debate on talent. And you've got people on one side and people on the other side. That didn't really happen with I guess Nick Foles a little bit, but Nick Foles had way more support than I think Jalen has, where you got on the Jalen side is either people that love him or people that hate him. There's no in between at all. It's no middle ground where it's like, all right, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. It's we love him, we hate him. Nick Foles has his supporters, but Nick Foles doesn't really have haters. He had those people that really ride for Nick Foles, a fully society, people call him. You have people that really ride for him. Like, Nick Foles is my guy. But on the other side, you don't really have that hate for him. Where Jalen Hurts is getting it from both sides. You have people that really, really love him, and you got people that downright hate him.
Part of the reason, though, that people hate him is because of how adamant his supporters are.
Yes. I agree. Because I say it about myself that
I listen to a lot of the main. Well, the funny thing is that we listen to different stations.
Yeah.
Like, when we're listening to the mainstream,
mm-hmm.
we listen to different stations.
Yeah.
There's one caller on the station that I listen to.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to be either Hurts' dad, maybe his agent or something. But the thing, he would make Allen seem rational with his Jalen Hurts opinions.
Oh boy, whoa, that's
it was something else to where he said, Jalen Hurts is capable of doing the things that Mahomes is capable of doing. We just surround him with the proper and
right.
It takes me back to you got to just really sit there and ask yourself, do you see this guy being able to physically
Right.
do the things that Mahomes does, physically do the things that Herbert does, physically do the things that Allen does? I kid you not, the one guy called in, I forget if it was Monday or Tuesday, one of those 2 days, he said that he can see Jalen Hurts being the next Josh Allen. I almost threw up when I was walking Swoop when I heard that.
Yeah, because you know what? You know why you get that? Because you get the people that throw out, like, there was something, I don't know if you saw on Twitter the other day. Someone put out compared the stats between Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts first like 15 games.
But the
And they're
difference is
comparable.
that
But like that's not like Josh Allen is light years away from those statistics now. And you saw Josh Allen again on Sunday do freakish things.
Here's the different thing is Josh Allen's about 6 inches taller,
Right.
about 20 pounds heavier.
Right.
I'll give you the Jalen Hurts is faster. I'll give you that. But Allen can put the ball 60 yards on a dime if he wants to.
Right. And
there are many experts out there that watch the tape that say that Josh Allen right now is the most talented player in the NFL. He just hasn't put it all together yet because he's too young.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying that about Jalen Hurts. You know what they're saying? Exactly what you said.
Yeah.
He writes nice letters. And it sounds like we're killing this guy. I know that. But it takes me back to my point at the very beginning when I said is the reason that people push back so adamantly against him is because people push for him so strong.
I guess the best comparison is Nick Foles, and the reason why I say that is because, but here's the interesting thing about Nick Foles is that I do believe people went overboard with him and their love for him. The people that really loved him, they did a little bit too much. However, I get the support because 2013 he throws 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, had a great year. He was having a good year in 2014 before he separated his shoulder. Eagles were like 6-2 when he was the quarterback in 2014. He separates his shoulder, and is out for the rest of the season. And Mark Sanchez takes over. They don't make the playoffs, and then Chip Kelly just kind of rips up everything. Sam Bradford gets involved in the whole mess when he starts, picking players. But Nick Foles had a good first run here. Then he comes back for the second run and wins an MVP in the Super Bowl and finishes a job that Carson Wentz started. So you understand why people will be infatuated with him. You get it because he has those accolades. You can point to something on his resume. The thing that's fascinating about Jalen Hurts is that Jalen Hurts has done really not much. You know what I mean? Like yes, Eagles went to the playoffs this year. Yes, he had a okay year. Yeah, yes, but he hasn't done anything on that level. He didn't give you 27-2. He's not a Super Bowl MVP. He's not. He hasn't come up big in huge moments. But the loyalty that people have to him already, like the people, and that's what the argument is. It's the people that already have anointed him and already say that right now I know he is the guy. That's why, to me, he is right now, in my opinion, the most controversial quarterback in Eagles history already.
Disagree with that statement. That title strictly belongs to number 5. Number 5 is easily the most polarizing figure in this franchise's history.
I don't think so anymore.
Yes.
I think at the time, yes. I feel like now,
yes.
Donovan, and I think because you've heard people say how much more they appreciate Donovan now than they did when he was playing.
That's fine. But that doesn't change the amount of criticism that he got in the moment. He was and he's no athlete has ever been under the microscope in this city as much as 5 has.
I would agree.
He's easily the most polarized. He's
think about this,
the most polarizing figure in the entire city's sports history.
Think about this.
And he did it for what, a decade? Is that a decade that he did that for in Philadelphia?
Yeah, he was
11,
99 in 2010.
11, 12 years, something like that.
99 2010.
We cannot put Jalen Hurts, who's been here for 2 years, above the decade plus that 5 had. That is just
But think about this, though. Think about, like I said, how people now look at Donovan compared to the way they used to look at him. In 10 years, when Jalen Hurts is hopefully no longer here,
Yeah.
in 10 years, when he's hopefully not here anymore, we're going to look back still with everyone still going to have their same opinions about him.
No, we're going to look back at him and be like, oh, we were all wrong.
I don't know that people, because here's the thing. If he's gone, let's say he's gone at this offseason.
Okay.
Even if he gets next year, you're going to have the narrative that he wasn't given his fair chance. You're going to have those people saying they never gave him a fair. The people that said he was going to be a franchise quarterback are going to change their narrative to he was never given a fair shake. Not that he's not good enough. He wasn't given his fair shake.
If you suck for 3 years, why should I give you a fourth?
Bro, you're talking to the wrong person. You're not talking to me because I already have made a decision and decided that he's not the franchise quarterback. I know better. I'm not the person you're talking to. The supporters, however, will say that in 10 years, oh, Jalen Hurts could have been this guy, could have been that guy. He was never giving his fair shake.
Hurts Colt.
Yeah, that's what it is. And that's the thing I think that separates. Now, listen, you raised great points about Donovan. It's hard to argue against Donovan because Donovan, like you said, was here for a very long time. And Donovan endured a lot of criticism, some fair, some unfair, but a lot of criticism throughout the years. And another thing of Donovan's legacy, obviously, is a T.O. situation. A lot of people blame him for that going south, me included.
I absolutely.
I put that squarely on his shoulders. But that still, like I said, there's so many people today that look back at his tenure, look back at the 5 NFC Championship games, look back at the Pro Bowls, the plays he made, 4th and 26, the 15-second scramble, playing the entire second half of the game against Cardinals on a broken ankle, throwing 4 touchdowns, doing that. People now look at that stuff fondly and now have kind of changed their narrative where, you know what? I mean, you got people that hated him will still acknowledge he's the best quarterback in Eagles history.
I thought 11 was going to get that title.
Me too. I thought he was going to take it from him, but we all look back at Donovan and recognize him as the best quarterback in Eagles history during the best run of Eagles football that we've ever seen.
Yep.
We all give him that now.
Yep.
In the moment,
I don't disagree with that at all.
In the moment, a lot of people didn't. But with Jalen, the narrative won't change in 10 years. I'm telling you, it's going to be because he's not. He will not survive after next year. I'm telling you that right now. This is a spoiler alert. He will not survive if he's given the job next year. He's not going to do much different than what happened this year, and the Eagles are going to be scrambling looking for someone else. It's not going to change, people. It's not. It's not. And the excuse is going to be after he's let go next year or after they bring someone in, he becomes a backup. Wherever happens to him next year, the narrative is going to be, oh, he wasn't given a fair shot. He needed more time. Philly doing it again, blah, blah, blah. That are going to be the people that love Jalen Hurts. The people that hate Jalen Hurts are going to say, I told you so. I mean, I don't hate the guy.
Telling everybody, I told you so. Make no mistake about it. I'm going to come on this show and be insufferable. I'm going to say, listen, what did I tell you way back on our very first episode, October 10th, 2020? Do you remember what I said, Marcus? I said they're going to trade Carson Wentz to the Indianapolis Colts.
Yes, that happened.
I said that on October 10th, 2020.
Correct.
I'm going to come on these airways and tell you right now, Jalen Hurts will not be a starter for the Eagles. And I'm going to come on this show.
I'll go one step further.
Yeah.
After this run of him starting, he will be a backup the rest of his career.
See, I wanted to say that, but I didn't know if that was taking it too far.
No, I'm going to say it. After this Eagles run, wherever he goes, he is going to be Geno Smith.
Ooh, I don't know about that. He's better than Geno Smith.
I agree with you, but that's the type of guy he's going to be. He's going to be a Case Keenum type. He's going to be in that vein. Chase Daniel.
Yeah, I was going to say he's a Chase Daniel.
Like he's going to be. He'll always have a job, but it's going to be as a backup quarterback. He's never going to be. He's always going to be the bridesmaid. He's never going to be the bride.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to throw that out there because we've every quote unquote franchise quarterback that we've had, there's been controversy attached to them. Every single one. Philadelphia, and listen,
let me pose you a wild question. Okay.
Yeah.
Outside of 5,
mm-hmm.
Have the Eagles ever had a franchise quarterback?
I mean, I guess it depends what your definition of franchise quarterback. I would say Randall, yes. I think Randall was a franchise quarterback. Randall was. Donovan was. See,
Carson was supposed to be.
Say it again?
Carson was supposed to be.
Carson should have been. Nick Foles, no. It didn't. Obviously, no. Vic, I don't want Vic. Definitely. Listen, 2010 Michael Vick was a different Michael Vick. And 11, he gets hurt. 12, they fall apart. And, 13, he competes with Nick Foles, and Nick Foles beats him out for the job. And that's by that point, he had lost a step anyway. So, yeah, Vic was towards the, I guess towards the end, a little harsh, but he was on the downside when he came here. Because it took him a little bit, because first of all, remember, after serving 2 years in prison, he had to basically rebuild his body. I don't know if you saw his football life. He talked about the first time he ran in pads for the Eagles, he was slow as molasses. He had lost that step because he hadn't really played like that. So he thought he was moving super fast, and he was not. And he had to rebuild and get that back. So that first year back, when Donovan was still here, and they were doing that thing where they bring him in on third downs and all that stuff, he was rebuilding his body back up again. And 2010, when they replaced Donovan with Kevin Cobb gets concussion against the Packers, and Vic comes in. Now all of a sudden,
world on fire.
He's Vic again. Even though they lose that game, but you're like, whoa, Vic's got that step back again. Let's go. And he's seen the field. Let's go. So then he has that great year. That's the
why did he have to be left-handed? Watching him throw makes me want to dig my eyes out.
Yeah, well, he has that great year where, listen, the toughest game the Packers played was against the Eagles in that playoffs. Everyone else, they blew the doors off.
Yes.
The Eagles really are a Riley Cooper catch away from maybe being in the Super Bowl that year. They were
really
very talented.
Team. They were a very good team.
They should have had a bye if it wasn't for that Minnesota game. They should have had a bye.
Joe Webb.
The 2010 Eagles is one of the great what if stories in Philadelphia history. Because you had Jackson, you had Vic, you had Macklin, you had McCoy, you had a young Brett Selleck. They were loaded offensively, and they were still reputable defensively. They just didn't get it done. But anyway, so Vic met the criteria for a franchise quarterback, but he was just a little on the older side at that time. So I can't really call him that either. So I guess Randall and Donovan were your two franchise quarterbacks. Randall Cunningham at his peak was different.
My definition of a franchise quarterback is a guy who is unequivocally your starter for 8 to 10 years.
Okay.
Obviously, barring injury, but coming into a training camp, he is unequivocally your starter for 8 to 10 years.
Okay. I'm not going to argue with that. So it has so for you, it's time, not ability. I put in years to start for you.
Well, here's the thing: is you're not going to have a guy start 8 to 10 years for you if he doesn't have the ability.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You're not gonna sit there because think about how long that is. If you're a quarterback that you don't have the ability, you're probably for you to play 8 to 10 years, unless you're consistently winning. That's probably 2 to 3 coaching staffs.
Right.
So, I don't know. That's my take. But obviously, you got to have the ability because obviously your best ability is obviously your availability.
Right.
But, that's 8 to 10 years minimum. Like I said, Carson should have been that guy.
Right.
He was, 5 years he had? A lot of people was like, oh, Jalen. Let's be honest. That training camp, Carson took any doubt that Jalen Hurts as a second-round pick may have been the starter.
I mean, listen, Carson is
He's notorious for being an amazing player in practice. Let's not forget about the what was it? The joint practices against Miami, I think it was.
Offense. Yep.
Yeah.
2016. Yep.
Yeah.
Or 2017.
Where they said, Carson was just carving the Dolphins players up in practice. They didn't have any answers for him.
Yep. You can now say, I think it's safe to say now, I've been holding off saying this, but now I think it's safe to say that Carson against the Rams tore his ACL, his MCL, and his spirit. Like he is a broken man.
Disagree. I think it's the back injury. I don't think it's the knee. I think it was the back injury.
No. I'm saying no. I'm not like the knee injuries, but I also think he suffered a broken spirit.
Yeah, I don't. I don't. I think it was the back injury. And then when he came back from the back injury, he was a shell of himself. And I think that returning from the back is what left him with a broken spirit.
He's playing with a broken bone in his back for most of that because he didn't want to stay out because of all the other stuff. So he played hurt that until they finally shut him down.
Yeah. And that's, I think, was a lingering effect. And now it's a habitual problem because I don't think that he's ever going to physically be the same.
Yeah,
I think it's the back.
It's more about mentally than physically with him at this point. Like he just seems like a mentally fried human being, and that happens to people. I think all the stuff that Nick Foles talk got to him, but again, going back to Jalen, it's just those controversies to me have nothing on this because this is something like get used to this, people. We're gonna be talking like this. This week, not here because we're not gonna be doing this every week, but there's gonna be plenty of conversations over this next 6 to 8 months about is he the guy? Is he the guy? Is he the guy? Is he the guy? It's gonna be going on very
months without mentioning 25.
Yep.
So we can definitely go a long time without mentioning number one.
Yes. Yeah.
But I can tell you, number one is right now making me want to keep my number 11 jersey out of spite.
So let's throw that out there then, since you bring it up. Knowing what you know now. Would you still have made the trade last January? Knowing what you know now. Because the thing about Carson Wentz is, again, you can't deny the talent. The talent is still there. He's still got that arm. He's still 6'5". He's still 240. He's still athletic. It's there. These are things that Jalen Hurts never has and never will have. So knowing what we know now and everything we've been through this year, would you have still made this trade?
Considering everything, all facts,
all the variables.
Yeah, I would. But
yeah, I agree because the haul you get, right? You get that incredible haul.
You get the first round pick.
Yeah.
You get the third round pick. The third round pick you used to trade up for already.
Right.
You get what now looks like could be a bad contract off your books.
Right.
You get to hit reset. Now you lose a quote unquote franchise quarterback, but the haul's too high. Like there's too many pros not to do it. Now I get it. You lost your quarterback. Now you go find another quarterback. I get all that.
Right.
But it just doesn't change the fact $35 million a year off your books.
Right.
You can now hit reset. You can go if you look, Very, very few teams win the Super Bowl after their quarterback has broken the bank. Very few.
Hmm.
Like we can go through. Honestly, I don't know the last quarterback that won making that much money. Because if you think about it, go through the quarterbacks that have won it recently. You got Brady, who's notorious for taking a discount because his wife is worth 5 times what he is.
Right.
What happened after Flacco won with the Ravens? He cashed out. Ravens never won a Super Bowl again. Mahomes, rookie deal. Russell Wilson, back-to-back appearances at the Super Bowl on a third-round rookie deal salary. These guys that are, the last guy, I'd say Jimmy Garoppolo is probably the last one to make it that had a mega deal because when he went to San Francisco, they signed him to a mega deal.
Right.
But that was because John Lynch was hitting on 5 of every 7 draft picks for the first 3 seasons.
Right.
So, I'll pull up during the break. Actually, I'll do it right now. Last 15 Super Bowl winners. There we go. Last 15 Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. All right. We'll pull this up. I just gotta let it load. Thanks to the Hall of Fame for putting this list together for us. Very simple. All right. So Brady last year, obviously, like I said, notorious for taking discounted deal.
Right.
Mahomes last year, 2 years ago. I believe he was still on his rookie deal at that point in time.
Yeah, I believe they signed that mega deal in 2020.
Okay, yeah. I think that you're right. So I believe it was after that Super Bowl victory. Garoppolo, obviously we said made it. That was that. The year before, Brady and Jared Goff still on his rookie deal. Obviously number 1 overall, still on his rookie deal though.
Right.
Following year, Nick Foles. Let's take Nick Foles out. It was Carson. Carson, rookie deal, Tom Brady. Previous year, Tom Brady, Matt Ryan. I'd have to look up. I think that was before Matt Ryan signed his grotesque deal, 2016. So I don't think he had signed, like he had been re-signed to a new deal, but he didn't sign that crazy like $30 million contract that he now has that he's untradeable.
Right.
So there you go. The previous year, Peyton Manning with Denver. He had it was the last year of his contract, I believe. So his contract wasn't crazy, and he was older on the back end of his career, so he didn't get, he didn't break the bank. And if you remember, that's a young Von Miller. Von Miller is still on his rookie deal at that point in time. Cam Newton obviously lost. I believe Cam was paid by that point in time, though. Previous year, Brady, Wilson on a rookie deal. Previous year, Manning, Wilson. Manning on the deal with the Broncos, Wilson on the rookie deal. Previous year than that, Joe Flacco, before he got paid because he bet on himself that year and he got the contract after the Super Bowl. Colin Kaepernick that year. Kaepernick, I believe, was a second-round pick, if I recall correctly. He's only 25, second-round salary. Now, the year before that, you have Brady, Manning. This is 11 years ago. Quarterbacks aren't getting paid $30 million like they were now 11 years ago. Before that, you have Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger. Before that, you have Peyton Manning, Drew Brees. Before
Rodgers
that,
on a rookie deal probably then too. Also, that was 2010.
He very well could have been
Resigned because it was like 2005 when they got drafted him.
Yeah, so he could have been, or he had just recently gotten a new deal. Before that, you had Drew Brees, Peyton Manning. Before that, you had Kurt Warner on the back end playing a young Ben Roethlisberger. Then you had Eli Manning
at that point.
Yeah, you have Eli Manning, Brady. Before that, you have Rex Grossman, Peyton Manning. Before that, rookie deal Ben Roethlisberger.
I was on a rookie deal then in 2007.
Yeah. Then before that, you have Roethlisberger, Hasselbeck. Hasselbeck wasn't breaking the bank. Roethlisberger's second year in the league. Then the year before that, Donovan, Brady. Donovan and Brady, neither one of them were breaking the bank. I mean, he was complaining about T.O. getting paid $7 million a year.
Right.
He's not getting paid that. The year before that, Brady, Jake Delhomme. The year before that, Brad Johnson, Rich Gannon. So really, when you go and look through it, if your quarterback is breaking the bank, the likelihood of you making the Super Bowl dramatically decreases.
Yeah. You can't make up that money in other places. But one more thing before we hit break. It's interesting because all of that, which is crazy, something I never thought about, but it's a double-edged sword because I still look at it as the franchise quarterback being the most important piece. Because that's why I say to people talk about the picks, like I want to have the pick for the quarterback. If you can get the quarterback, I'm from the school of thought you get the quarterback. That's the most important thing that you need to make it work. But yeah, you're right, because that's one of the reasons why the Patriots have been successful, because Brady has been willing to take these pay cuts and move money here, move money there to bring in the best of all the players around him.
Once your quarterback makes $30 million a year, you will no longer be a contender. Look at the talent they lost because they paid Russell Wilson. Now, I'm not saying Russ didn't deserve it. Okay, take that out of the equation.
Right.
Russ deserves to make $30 million a year.
Right.
But the thing is, if you do, you lose all the talent around you.
And also, too, it puts that target on your back. Like, I feel like Russ accrued a lot of enemies after he hit that $30 million, after he got that money. Like, the locker room dynamic shifted because the defense is out there saying, yo, well, we're there's Legion of Boom. We're Legion of Boom out here. Your offense is okay, but we're the reason we make this go.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'll tell you right now, for my money, you know who that has, I think, the best contract as far as a young quarterback goes? Deshaun. Deshaun is under contract for the next 4 seasons at an average salary of $26 million. And by the way, when the deal is done, he'll only be 30.
Yeah, so he's still due for another payday. All right, well, listen, we're going to take a break. And on the other side, we are going to shift gears to the NBA, talk some Joel Hans Embiid.
I love when you call him by his full name. I love when you use the full name.
Well, he deserves that respect. He's done some ridiculous things out there ever since Christmas. I'm gonna go through all of the games since Christmas, basically.
Yo, I saw somebody put out a tweet yesterday that said, I'm trying to figure out how to name my firstborn son Joel Embiid without strictly calling him Joel Embiid.
We're gonna talk. We're gonna also the Simmons rumors are heating up again, and we're gonna talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
We got hockey and all.
And I'm calling you out.
All right. Brad in the morning, Marques Brown, December, and we're right back.
Looking for authentic Mexican food close to home? Great news. District Taco is just around the corner in Abington, Pennsylvania, and they'd love to fiesta with you. Offering delicious fish tacos, a California burrito stuffed with guac, steak, fries, and chipotle mayo, plus sweet, crispy churros. District Taco has it all. Try out the newest location and come back for more. Get 10% off your first in-app order with promo code BREMI10. Always fresh, always Mexican, District Taco.
Relationships can be tough, and finding that special someone can be even tougher. So when it's time to make a decision on what to do with the ring, you don't want to have that be tough too, right? Hi, I'm Marques Brown. I want to talk to you guys, my friends at Vans Jewelers, located at 13 South York Road in the heart of Hatboro. Back in 2017, when I decided to get engaged, there was only one choice for me. Going into Vans Jewelers, I was quite nervous, but they put me at ease right away with their friendly staff and their easy selection. They have selections for any budget. Rings, watches, chains, earrings, you name it, they got it. They also offer free ultrasonic cleaning and stone checks on any ring. Vans Jewelers also provides cleanings while you wait every Tuesday through Friday. What else do you want? You can't beat it. Go see my friends at Vans Jewelers, located again at the heart of Hatboro, 13 South York Road.
Justin here. Let me tell you about my friends over at Beef Jerky Outlet. A family-owned business, Sharon and Michael have the best jerky around. They have a huge selection to choose from, but always make sure to try my personal favorite, the Honey Barbecue Turkey Jerky. Don't think they only have jerky for sale. They also have the best supply of sauces, marinades, and rubs for all of your new recipes. Located at 110 Lincoln Highway, right by Oxford Valley Mall. Head on over there, go in and say, yo, Justin sent me.
Every Friday, we're bringing you bits, but it's especially hilarious to me knowing what I've seen happen in McDonald's locations over the years. Hell, what I've done in McDonald's locations over the years.
Hits. always winterize your pipes. I think that is such a funny.
And everything in between. Nah,
Oh,
see, it's the
God.
opposite. You don't see it, and he was totally about eating that baby. We are Twitty and the Brand. We're going to ruin something that you love. New episodes weekly on all your favorite podcast streamers.
Yeah, man. Welcome back. Brown in the morning. Marques, Brown, Justin Emery.
Here. January 26th. Got quite a few facts for the day. This is Marcus. This marks some potential historic day for our show.
Wow.
This is the first day. Now, obviously, we've been doing the show for obviously more than a year, but today's the first day where I actually remember these facts from last year.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
I remember going through this list because what reminded me is you said it was the Kobe Bryant, the 2-year death of his anniversary.
Yep.
You recall we were doing this very show from your dining room table last year.
Yes, sir.
And we had a Kobe Bryant jersey draped over the chair.
Yes.
So I do remember some of these. So this marks a now let's say, I partake frequently. Let's see if I do this again in the future. But today marks the first. And we will just get to it. 2020 basketball star Kobe Bryant dies in a helicopter crash. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still weird that it's still, I mean, obviously
I
on.
remember like you and my brother were the two that told me at the same time. So I was in Vegas. So it was, obviously it was nicer weather. I think it was good, like 75-degree day.
Yeah.
I had the window. It was a Sunday. Had the screen door open. I'm getting ready for the week. Making some food, cleaning the apartment up, all that stuff. Had my phone just in the other room.
Right.
Had the TV on. I was just listening to music. I go and I check my phone. I have a text from you and a text from my brother that you two verbatim said the exact same thing. Kobe Bryant just died. And I read it from you and I was like, all right. Marcus was not a person that would have bad information.
Right.
But he might be susceptible to a fake Woj account.
Maybe.
I mean, I know I am, so that's why it's not going to try to put you on blast.
Looking and being like, hold on. No, it's not Woj.
Yeah. So, but once it started trickling in, so the first thing I did is throw the TV on, boom, ticking across. It doesn't matter what station you put on.
Right.
It was ticking across the bottom. And I got super sad because I believe a word from you that you said is he felt like a cousin to everybody.
Yep.
And so I immediately went and changed into my Kobe jersey and wore that around for like 3 days.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I'll never forget. I was on my couch and I had the TMZ app. So they were the first to report it, and they were like 25, 30 minutes before anyone else. So I read it. I was like, no way.
Here's the thing. Is TMZ, man, when it comes to things in Los Angeles, you can basically take it to the bank every single time.
Yep.
I also found out Kobe's story was the reason I found out what TMZ stood for.
3 Mile Zone, right?
30
Mile Zone.
But yeah, the Kobe story is what led me to that. But let's move on. Let's see. Ooh, legendary live TV. Oprah 06. Do you remember this?
Oprah 2006?
Yes, on live TV. Do you remember what she did?
This is when she gave away the cars to everybody?
No, this is when she confronted that author over lying in his book.
Oh my gosh. This was I actually watched that. I saw that, dude. That was wild.
I was in high school at the time. I was in high school at the time, so I definitely didn't see this live.
Yeah, I saw that was
But
yeah, I remember that. That was a wild story because she put it in her book club.
Yep.
And like it was super uncomfortable. It was really, really uncomfortable.
I mean, I can only imagine.
So she was because it got to the point where she was asking him about parts in the book. She's like, "Well, was this real?" And he'd be like, no. And the audience would just gasp, and she would just get this. Because in a way, because Oprah was Bible when it came to books, a lot of things in pop culture. So she put her name on something. It was a huge deal. And for her to be made a fool of by this guy, that was a wild, wild, wild day. I'll never forget that.
1979, The Dukes of Hazzard premieres.
Dukes of Hazzard. I remember that show.
The only thing I really remember about Dukes of Hazzard is the one with Jessica Simpson in it.
The movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1926. I'm going to try to pronounce his name properly. John Logie Baird demonstrates the television.
Oh, all right.
1986. The legendary Chicago Bears defense wins the Super Bowl.
Against the Patriots.
Against the Patriots. You know what Super Bowl that was?
It was 80, 85, 86.
86.
Was it 17, 18? There somewhere?
Higher.
22?
Too high. It was Super Bowl 20.
20, okay.
2005, George Bush appoints Condoleezza Rice as the highest ranking African-American woman to that point in time. Obviously, we now know that there has been someone voted to a higher office, but to this point in time, 05, Condoleezza Rice.
Huge football fan.
She was on. Did you see her on the Manning cast?
No, I didn't see her on that, but she's been on a couple football lives and stuff.
Oh yeah, no, she's a massive
Stanford.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying massive football fan. Yeah. Massive football.
What you talking about? She ain't playing.
No, Niners. I believe she's a Niners fan.
She's a Niners fan, yeah.
I believe she's a Niners fan. No, she did. If you get a chance, I think they're all on YouTube because the Manning cast is great.
She actually, I just saw her. She just did one recently. John Lynch's Football Life. She was on that one.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, she's on a lot. So like you said, she knows her football, and that pretty much sums up January 26th.
All right,
but we product review time.
Let's do it.
All right, so Marcus is a big fan of it. I'm a big fan of it. We're all a big fan of the rubs and the spices at our friends over at Beef Jerky Outlet. So for today,
I'm doing some the dry rub fajita. I'm gonna put down some chicken.
You read my mind.
Hey, all right.
So we got the Suckle Busters, the best in Texas fajita seasoning. Now, we've advocated their entire line before because everything they make is good. Marcus loves the lemon pepper garlic. I love the Tailgaters barbecue. But for today, we're going to feature the fajita, and it doesn't play games. As Marcus told you, he's getting ready to make his fajitas tonight. I use this regularly. There's a reason why my bottle is only halfway filled, because I use it. And I use it on everything. I don't use it only on fajitas, tacos, nachos, burritos, any Mexican food. I'm throwing this on there. Everybody knows about Tex-Mex. Texas knows their Mexican food.
Facts.
That's in Texas. What does that tell you, Marcus? That there's not a better fajita seasoning than this.
You love to see it. You love to eat it.
And that was my product elevator pitch. What'd you think?
Love it. And please get down to Beef Jerky Outlet in Langhorne.
Yes.
The sauces, the rub. I'm telling you, the jerky's amazing. Come for the jerky. Stay for the sauces and rubs.
And Marcus and I are coming to buy everything.
Yes. We're buying them out.
We're buying them out.
We lined up.
So you better come and get your stuff before there's nothing available for you.
So the Sixers were in action last night.
Mm-hmm.
They played a depleted New Orleans Pelicans, missing Zion, missing Brandon Ingram. Struggled with the first half, pulled together the second half, decided not to play any games. Joel Hans and Embiid doing Joel Hans and Embiid things.
Is Zion still a thing?
I don't know if I mentioned on the show. Maybe I didn't. I'm worried about his future. He just can't. I mean, he just.
Did you hear what Shaq and Charles said about him?
They've said a lot of things about him. What in particular?
They said Zion looks like this is what Barkley said. Barkley said Zion looks like me and Shaq had a baby.
Yeah. He's a big boy. And that's what you worry about. Some people are too athletic for their own good and too athletic for their own body types. Zion Williamson is a big dude that, like, imagine Allen Iverson being that size. That's pretty much Zion Williamson.
Yeah.
Like, Zion Williamson literally ran out of his shoe.
Human bodies are not supposed to move that big and be that heavy.
That fast. Like, he literally, he's a freak. He literally ran out of his shoe. Like, I don't blame Nike for that. Zion Williamson is an athletic freak. He literally ran out of his shoe.
Yeah.
Ran out of his shoe. I'll never forget the block he had against.
Find me a person that hasn't inadvertently blown out a sneaker at some point in time.
To that, the way he blew it out.
Oh yeah, I mean that was crazy.
That was. We've all had the rip or whatever. He literally, his entire foot was out of his sneaker. Like, it was insane.
I got to assume those shoes were new.
Right. It is. Yeah, they get new shoes. Yeah, absolutely.
Every game, right? I got to make the assumption that the new
Pretty
shoes.
much. And that block he had against Virginia, he's not supposed to be up there. What is he doing up there? Like, he does things
The cats that we're raising.
he does things that you're just not supposed to do athletically. And I just worry about that with his body type, how he's going to be able to sustain that. Just on the sheer fact of, I don't think a man that big should be that athletic. Like, Joel Embiid is extremely athletic, but it's mostly with him, his footwork, that's really, really good. He's athletic, don't get it twisted. But he's not athletic to the point where it doesn't make sense for his body type. You still know he's 7'2". You still see that. Even though he's doing things, it's like, whoa, you're more impressed by his footwork than anything else. He has elite footwork, elite fundamentals to this point, and he's doing things, okay, that's Dirk, okay, that's Hakeem.
Did you see the video that who's the shooting coach? The Drew Hanlon, is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the video he posted maybe about 2 weeks ago of Embiid?
From a couple years ago?
No, like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, no.
He tweeted about 2 weeks ago, and the caption is something along like the phrase he uses with the video, something along the lines of like, in order to be one of the greats, you have to study the greats. Something along that. I forget exactly word for word how he said it, but he phrased it like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he showed clips of this season and I think last season of Embiid, and he would show like a clip of Jordan doing a move, a clip of Kobe doing the move, and a clip of Embiid doing the same exact move.
Yeah.
And there's anywhere from 3 to 5 examples of it that he shows in the video.
Well, what did I say about Kobe? Kobe was great and the closest clone to Jordan because he didn't follow the spectacular stuff. He studied the footwork. He studied the fundamentals. And that's what Embiid is. Embiid has studied Kobe, Olajuwon, Dirk. Like, he's now, like, that 1 foot fadeaway, he's now doing that on a regular basis. And also he's doing things like he also, you can tell, has worked on his ball handling. Like, he's comfortably bringing the ball up the court now, comfortably making plays for his teammates, comfortably going coast to coast. And that's terrifying for the rest of the NBA. He's playing absolutely out of his mind.
At the end of this, I want to pose to you a question about Embiid at the end.
Okay, so this is Embiid since Christmas, okay? 36 and 13, 36 and 11.
You know how many games this is?
This is 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 games.
15, okay.
36 and 13, 36 and 11, 34 and 7, 31 and 15, 31 and 5, 31 and 12, 31 and 8, 31 and 6, 25 and 13, 32 and 12, 32 and 8, 50 and 12, 40 and 13, 38 and 12, 42 and 14.
Was the 25 the one against the Celtics?
I'm not sure. I just had the stats.
Oh, okay.
He is the first Sixers since Wilt Chamberlain to average 35 over 10 rebounds in 4 straight games. Since 1966, Wilt Chamberlain, first Sixer to do that.
Well, over 35 and what?
I don't want to disrespect Wilt Chamberlain, but there's levels to this.
But you said over 35 and what?
Over 35 and 10 rebounds.
Okay.
He is absolutely playing out of his mind. Now, while I am in the camp of wait till the offseason, and we'll get into the Ben Simmons a little bit because things are heating up over there. Wait till the offseason to deal with that issue because I believe you'll have more options. I also understand that we're watching again Embiid be special. And you get nervous because we don't know how many more of these special years are left. Hear me out on this. Hear me out. There's a rumor right now going around that the Lakers are going to trade Russell Westbrook to the Rockets for John Wall. Which is, yeah.
Oh, man.
So
I need that
after
to happen just because I root for chaos.
after if this does go through, Westbrook will probably be bought out. If I'm the Sixers, I take a chance on Westbrook for the rest of the year. The reason why is I look at it this way. Westbrook is an upgrade from what you have right now. I don't think it's fair, all the criticism they're getting out in LA. I think they're kind of making him the scapegoat for so many other things that they've done wrong. First of all, I told you back in the summertime this was stupid and it was not going to work with Westbrook and LeBron. Stevie Wonder could have saw that. Everyone knows that was not a pair that makes sense together. But to put all of it on Westbrook is unfair. First of all, people are freaking out about his turnovers. He has basically averaging the same amount of turnovers this year that he averaged basically the entire career, about 4 a game. Also, it's unfair because the Lakers are not a complete product where Anthony Davis has missed a lot of games per usual. They don't have a bench. You traded away some of your Kyle Kuzma, Kentavious Pope, and Montrezl Harrell. You basically traded away your entire bench because you got impatient because that didn't work. You traded away your youth in Lonzo and Brandon Ingram, all that stuff. You did that, sacrificed your soul to get a championship, and now you're scrambling, trying to recreate that with guys that don't make sense, period. So, and I think Westbrook is pressing a little bit, but I think if he gets traded, he gets bought out, you get him for the rest of the year, you give him a rest of the year contract, you don't sign him long term. Why not for 4 months take a shot and see what happens? Russell Westbrook still can be valuable. He's still valuable in the NBA. He's still a valuable NBA player. He's still an all-star level player. And it would take some pressure off guys like Maxey. Like I said about Tyrese Maxey. Love the kid. Bright future. I don't know how much more you can get out of him this year, how many more levels he can jump up. And for the Sixers to ultimately make a deep playoff run, if no one else comes in, barring any trades, anything like that, you're asking him to go another level up. Tobias Harris is who Tobias Harris is. Had a nice game yesterday, 31 and I believe 10. Had a good game yesterday. Great for him. But Tobias Harris is who Tobias Harris is. That's really, to me, a compromise. If you bring in a guy like Russell Westbrook, I'm okay with that for the rest of the year. I don't want him on the team long term. Don't get it twisted. I don't think Westbrook is the answer for the future. But you look at it this way. It's two-pronged. It's a player-friendly deal. It's a team-friendly deal. He's now worked himself because of this Lakers debacle. He's worked himself into kind of a prove-it situation where he's going to be motivated to prove everyone wrong. He's going to be motivated to play well because he's looking for another contract at the end of the summer. And if he doesn't perform well here, he's not going to get offered something that he might think he deserves. And Westbrook is a dude that is motivated by anger. He is going to be absolutely enraged if he gets traded to Houston. They throw him away to Houston. He has to get bought out, and now he has to go looking for a team. So you're getting a motivated guy, angry, completely in disarray, but it's a short-term thing. It could work short-term. I don't know what they end up doing, but it's peace for the playoffs. So I'm going to ask you, if this does happen, and this is a rumor, it's not confirmed that's going to happen, it's being talked about, Wall to LA, Westbrook to Houston, Houston buys out Westbrook, Westbrook now can go anywhere. Would you do it if he wanted to come here?
Is Embiid okay with it?
Yeah, I think like they don't have, their issues are all competitive based. Like they don't have real beef. Nobody slept with nobody's girl. Nobody shot one of their friends. This ain't real beef. This is lunch meat. They'll be all right.
Yeah, I mean, I like Westbrook. I've always been a Westbrook fan.
Mhm.
I'm only going to let him come here if he agrees for his time here to wear number 3 so I can see number 3 fly through the air again like that.
I mean, listen,
Is that a fair ask? Is that a fair request?
I'm sure AI would be okay with that. Because that's AI's favorite player in the league is Westbrook.
I know that's what I'm saying. I need to see,
and honestly,
that.
Their relationship might be how he gets here. But, Westbrook is, and I love Westbrook too, but Westbrook is who Westbrook is. Like, he's going to do some incredible things. He's going to do some boneheaded things. And you just hope
he's not coming in here to be like, he's not coming in here to, it's not his team. I'm not saying that he's coming in here to do it because Embiid's a top 5 player in the league right now.
Right.
Maybe even top 3 player in the league right now.
Yes.
But as long
top
as
2 and A2 right now.
Yeah, as long as it's not, hey, we're coming in here to make Embiid and Westbrook Batman and Robin.
No.
As long as that's not it, hey.
No, this can't be because and we'll get to the Ben Simmons stuff. The big fish for me is James Harden. That's the goal for the summer is James Harden. Westbrook being here, Harden's not going to like that. Number 1. Number 2, long term, he'll outperform his welcome here. He won't like he'll stay longer than he's welcome here because at the end of the day, his deficiencies will begin to really show over time. But I think as a short-term solution, a motivated Westbrook here after everything that happened in LA, how they're talking about him out here. The other day, he against the Pacers, he gets benched last 3 minutes of the game. All of these things, Westbrook's a very prideful guy. And
did you see that tip-off of the Lakers Heat game the other day?
The actual tip?
Yes.
No.
So they tipped the ball to someone. I don't know who they tipped the ball to. I'm not sure who does their jump ball. Whoever does the jump ball tips to whoever got it. He then passed it through his legs like a center.
Like a hike?
Yes.
Okay.
And to, I believe it was Westbrook, who then brought the ball up from the baseline and fired an air ball.
It's a good start to the game.
And I watched that and I was like,
that's why I lost by double digits.
I was like, this team's a joke.
Yeah, they're just not a good. They weren't.
I can find that tweet. So
they weren't put together well. They weren't at all. But I look at the Eastern Conference standings right now. Let me pull that up real quick. The Eastern Conference standings have the Sixers right now 6 at 28-19, but they're only 2 games out of first place. I think the Cavaliers. I don't know. They're playing really well. Good. They're playing really good defense. I don't believe they're going to stay 10 games over 500. I could be wrong, but I don't believe so. I think the Bucks will move up. The Nets we're going to get into a little bit because there's trouble in paradise out there. Mm-hmm. The Bulls just got Levine back. I think on Monday. I think they're going to be around, and the Heat are going to be around. So really, to me, the top teams in the East are the Heat, Bulls, Nets, Bucks, Sixers. Whatever order you want to put them in, that's your top 5. I believe the Sixers can get to 3. I think Westbrook gives you a better chance than what you have right now. And that's all you're looking for this year. You're not going to be a complete product because you have a guy on the roster, an all-star, that's not playing for your team. So that you're not going to be a complete product. It's not going to happen. But if you upgrade and get to the point where you can manage it for the rest of the season, okay. Like, to me, this year is everything that happened. This is not championship or bust this year for obvious reasons. You're setting yourself up for the summer to get what you want, and then next year you're back on the championship clock again. And you just hope and pray that Embiid is still Embiid for the next 3 to 4 years. That's what you're hoping for. So Westbrook, bring him in. It gives you a competitive shot to make some noise in the playoffs. I say, why not?
So you think that Embiid has 4 more years?
I'm hoping for
4 more difference-making years.
I'm hoping for 3 years like this, and 1 year where he's still really, really, really good. So that's what is he? 29, 28. So that puts him at 32.
31 to 32. All right, well, then that changes my – remember I told you I had a question for you?
Mm-hmm.
It changes slightly what I was going to ask you because I was going to say the assumption is he plays like this until he's 30.
Okay.
Yes or no? Is he getting a gold jacket?
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, yeah. And the NBA is way more reasonable. And we'll get maybe we'll have a couple minutes to talk about that Hall of Fame foolishness yesterday. But the NBA is
let's save that
we'll
save that for Friday because I have a lot to say about that.
Okay. Well, the NBA is legit Hall of Fame. I have no doubt that Joel will be in the Hall of Fame if he keeps this up for the next couple of years. Now, we shift gears slightly because now people are now coming around to what I've been saying since like October about James Harden. Listen, the rumors are coming out, and James Harden yesterday kind of refuted it, but not really. He really kind of danced around it. It all started with rumblings about him not being happy in Brooklyn. Another thing we talked about a couple months ago. And it's obvious. This is not what James Harden signed up for.
Side note real quick. I found the video that I was referencing to the start of that. Just give me a second. I'll have it up in a second.
Okay. James Harden ate his way out of Houston to go to Brooklyn to be a part of a championship contender for years and years and years. When he went to Brooklyn, well, first of all, let's go back to that winter 2020 when the Ben Simmons stuff on the table. So Daryl Morey leaves, right? Daryl Morey leaves Houston, and he tells Houston, guys, I'm not going to go anywhere else. I just want some time off. I need some time. I'm tired, whatever. Ends up with the Sixers like a week later. Obviously, they're pissed.
Mm-hmm.
Then he wants to turn around and deal to bring James Harden to Philly. Mm-hmm. We all knew Houston wasn't having that. So they gave the Sixers a dog and pony show, asked them for all sorts of outlandish things. The Sixers were going to give them a bunch of stuff, a really good trade. They had a way better offer than Brooklyn did, but they went with Brooklyn because they wanted to stick to Daryl Morey.
Mm-hmm.
So when Harden ends up in Brooklyn, also too, I will say, Embiid's coming off of probably the worst year of his NBA career. That where it ends in the bubble. That was the worst he looked in his NBA career. And he hadn't yet come to the point where he's this guy now, this mature guy we know, accountability, leadership, and playing out of his mind. We hadn't seen that yet. So Harden was probably a little hesitant too about aligning himself for those reasons, but I think he still would have come here off the strength of Morey. Just the Rockets didn't make it happen. So he ends up in Brooklyn, and the goal was in Brooklyn for him to play with Kyrie and Kevin for the rest of their careers. That was the goal. They were all supposed to sign max deals this year.
Yes.
Kyrie's already has his. Durant signed his. Harden was supposed to be next. Then Kyrie starts doing Kyrie things. And what ends up happening is it gets Harden paused and Harden says, wait a minute, hold on. Now it's coming out that Harden is voicing his concerns about Kyrie being a part-time guy and about the future of the Nets.
Yep.
He allegedly is saying that I am committed to this year, but I will be testing free agency this summer. And also, it's now also coming out too that he would welcome the opportunity to play with Joel Embiid. Listen, he's in New York City. He's like 3 hours away. He sees what's going on down here in Philly.
He's not even 3 hours away. 3 hours against traffic.
Yeah, he sees numbers Embiid's putting up. He sees what's going on down here at the Wells Fargo Center. He knows. I said this 2 years ago, and the main reason why I want this to happen is, can you just imagine 2 to 3 minutes left in the game, a close game, James Harden, Embiid, ball screen action. Could you imagine the nightmare that's going to be for opposing teams? Those two involved in pick and rolls And then you give Harden, again, what I've always said about Harden also, he's an underrated passer. You give him Seth Curry on a wing over here. You give him, George Niang on the wing over here. You give him those options.
He averaged a triple-double for a while when he got to Brooklyn.
Listen, the reason why Clint Capella got that contract was because James Harden. PJ Tucker, Eric Gordon, not nearly the shooters that we have here. They're not nearly the shooters Seth Curry is. You give Harden all of, and Maxi's turning into a knockdown jump shooter also himself, and he's only going to get better. You give him those type of options with Embiid and the ball screen, Sixers are deadly, absolutely deadly and lethal. That's why you want him here.
So I have that video real quick if you want to see it.
All right, let me see it real quick.
All right. So this
All right, we got
is
the jump ball.
This is the jump ball from.
Dwight.
Yeah, I said the same thing. This is the jump ball from.
Dwight does the hike. I'm not surprised. Dwight out here being foolish.
So
I bet LeBron loved this.
You ready?
Yeah, I want to watch LeBron's reaction to all this. So here's jump ball. Dwight goes up. Oh, LeBron does the hike.
Yep.
Okay, and then Westbrook says, "Okay, swing around." Okay. There's a lot of passing. LeBron. All right. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, my God. What is happening? That was a wild first possession. There's a lot to unpack from that possession.
That's even better.
We missed a dunk.
That was even better than what I than what I recall it being.
Yeah, they're a mess. But so this summer is all about Harden. And now you're talking about if you're the Nets, right? And you're going to lose Harden, it has to suck to think that, okay, we could quite possibly get nothing for this guy. So the logical thing is to involve a sign and trade with a place that he wants to go. And what makes more sense than a guy who's already signed? So you sign Harden and you swap him. Harden for Simmons. Now, are their values the same? No, absolutely not. But the reason why it makes sense is because Harden now has you over the barrel of you walking away getting absolutely nothing for him. So that's why that makes sense. And that at the end of the day is, I'm excited because I really believe out of all the things that we've heard the past 5 years, LeBron possibly coming here, the Harden trade, this to me, I'm really excited because I really do believe he's coming here. I believe this is going to happen.
I hope so.
Because you got the relationship with Maury. It's not like him. It's not recruiting across the country. They make sense playing. Like James Harden and Joel Embiid are a perfect pairing. They make complete sense together. And that's one of the reasons why I think Harden may be struggling with this year is that who you got in the ball screen with.
Well, Durant's hurt, obviously, right now.
And Aldridge can give you a pop. He can slide out for a jump shot in the ball screen, but he's not athletic enough to go to the rim and be disruptive down there, where Embiid's a man down there still.
Listen, Durant's out for what, another 4 or 5 weeks or so, give or take?
At least.
At least that long.
A part-time Kyrie.
Mm-hmm. Let's call him Kmart Kyrie. Call him Kmart Kyrie. And essentially, when you look at that, all this is James Harden has a worse cast of characters around him than he did in Houston. He's still by himself.
Right.
Just with worse players, and it's cold weather.
Right. I mean, nightlife
saying when I don't have Kyrie, when we don't have KD,
right,
it's me dragging all of this on my coattails.
And this is also a guy. There's also a guy coming off of a fully torn hamstring.
Yes,
trying to figure himself out. So he was hoping, okay,
he's on the other side of 30. So
right, I can ease myself into this year because I got Kyrie, I got Kevin. I can work my way back because he didn't play a lot, I'm sure, over the summer because of that hamstring. Wanted to be careful with that. So you can tell he's trying to play his way into shape. but he never really got the opportunity to do that because right away it was go because you don't have Kyrie for the beginning of the year, and it's just him and Kevin. And really, what about the Nets is their stars. Yes, their stars are their stars, but everything else is okay.
Yeah,
all right. It's not anything like they didn't do like what the Heat did really well when they were the Heatles.
yes.
They built a great supporting cast. Yes, you had Wade, you had Bosh, you had James, but you also had Mario Chalmers, who was a huge contributor. You had Shane Battier. You had Mike Miller.
Yes.
Like you had again. Eventually, you get Ray Allen. They were able to fill their spots with
Birdman.
very little money. Say again.
Birdman.
Yeah, Chris Anderson.
Yes.
Yeah, Birdman. They had those guys were very important in what they did. They had
Haslam.
Yep. Yeah, Haslam was still. Yeah. Yep.
Was Whiteside on that team?
No.
No.
This is no. He wasn't there yet. But you had great role players. Where I like Patty Mills. Patty Mills is a nice role player. But then after that, it's you get what you get from Aldridge. You get what you get from Griffin. It's just a bunch of guys after that, really.
Yeah, they still have Landry Shamet up there.
Is he? I think he's in Phoenix now.
Is he?
Yeah, I think he's with Phoenix. So you
still have TLC up there?
Say again?
They still have TLC up there?
I think he's floating around somewhere. Or he might have been invited. I mean, I think he's floating around somewhere up there.
Okay.
But I mean, at the end of the day, those players concern me because you're gonna need other guys to make shots. It can't just be your stars, no matter how many stars you have. So it'll be interesting to see. I still give the Bucks, if they go head to head against the Bucks in the playoffs, I still give the Bucks the edge. I think the Bucks are a better team because the Bucks are a more complete team. They have those role players. The Grayson Allen signing was huge, even though he's a terrible person for what he did to Alex Russo the other day.
He is a terrible person.
Grayson Allen signing that was really good for them. Bobby Portis, bringing him back, he's been a huge contributor for them. Drew Holiday was really their missing piece. He was the perfect complement to Giannis and to Chris Middleton. Drew Holiday's one of the most underrated players in the NBA. So having him was huge. Pairing him and putting him there. So they have the guys around. Brook Lopez gives you valuable minutes. They have those type of guys, which makes them to me a better team. And then again, you can't win with a part-time guy. It's not going to work. So Harden's frustrated. I think that's happening in the year. But I go back to my Westbrook point. That's why I say if this does work out, he does get bought out, I would pursue him hard. I don't know the relationship that Mari has with him. I don't know how that was when he was in Houston. When it was Harden and Westbrook. I know Harden and Mari are really close. I don't know what the Westbrook situation was. I have no idea. I'm pretty sure he was a guy that ended up trading Westbrook to the Wizards.
He did.
He's still there for that. So I don't know what their relationship is, but I don't know. I think if Westbrook would want to come here, I think for the rest of this year it makes a lot of sense. Because who else does he make sense on either division? I can't see him going to Milwaukee because he's not starting from Milwaukee. He's not going to the Heat. He doesn't fit their culture, and he's not starting for them either because they've figured their stuff out. The Nets, he's not going over there because Harden doesn't want to play with him, even though they're very close off the court. He doesn't want to play with him.
What about Denver?
Do you see him? I don't see him playing with Joker at all. Because here's the thing with Joker is unique in a sense that Joker runs their offense. Westbrook needs the ball in his hands to be effective, where Joker's not giving that up. Joker, they get over half court. Joker's making all the decisions there. And Jamal Murray, he's out, obviously out, but Jamal Murray.
Is he coming back for the playoffs?
I don't know. I don't know. But Jamal Murray, he's the quote unquote point guard, but Joker runs that squad. He's the guy primarily making the offensive decision. The offense runs through him. Where if you bring Westbrook here, he can run the show. Yeah, it's Embiid's team, but he can run the show and get Embiid's look. Again, look how good he made Clint Capella look.
Yeah.
Clint Capella was a borderline all-star playing with Westbrook and Harden.
Send him up to Boston. That'll be great.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's a mess too. So yeah, unless he's going to go to the Knicks, which why would you do that, knowing the fact that they're not even in the playoffs right now, and like that doesn't make sense. One of the best opportunity I feel that I see is Philly. Philly makes the most sense to me.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. But so before we get to hockey and all, what did I do? I've been waiting to hear this. What did I do wrong?
So it was brought to my attention
Mm-hmm.
that 2 weeks ago, not this last Wednesday, the Wednesday before,
Yeah.
one of your players or people that you used was a Egyptian soccer player. Now, I was under the impression that Egyptian soccer players fall outside of the realm of.
I need a name. Who?
I don't know. Who was the Egyptian soccer player?
I don't know. I don't know who. I don't know how.
Muhammad something.
Huh?
Muhammad something.
Did I use them for an actor, or I use them for?
Use them as an actor. Muhammad Salah.
Oh.
Muhammad Salah.
Was Muhammad Salah in movies?
Well, he's right now. He's the one of the star players on Liverpool, and he's also the captain of the Egyptian national team.
Okay, yeah, I see him right here. Very handsome man. Nice facial.
So if I understand the rules correctly, he falls outside of the hockey or no.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I can't argue with you. And I don't. The thing is, I don't even remember this.
This was 2
Who's
weeks.
the source? I want the source.
Listen,
Out the source.
Listen. The Twitter people, they don't mind if I lose. My followers, my supporters, the people that are on the right side of hockey or no.
So would you have won if it wasn't for this call?
No, I won regardless, but still.
Okay.
It prevented me from a perfect score.
You would have been a perfect score.
I would have went a perfect 7 for 7 2 weeks ago.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I'm not going to apologize because I've been doing this for over a year now, and this is the first error I've made. I think that's pretty good. I'll take that ratio. That gives me a 99.9%.
Listen,
if Maury Povich got 99.9% with somebody, they'd be the father.
So listen, I'm just so you know, the people, they have my back.
Watching.
They have my back.
Okay.
But yeah, that was the gripe. Like, I mean, I won regardless, but I'm just saying, I'm on to you. Well, I'm not on to you because I didn't even know this was brought to my attention 2 weeks later. But the people are on to you.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right, well, it's that time.
Yep.
Justin doesn't know hockey, doesn't know movies, and apparently he doesn't know Egyptian football players either.
Nope.
It's time for hockey and all. First name, Mohamed Salah. Hockey and all.
Nope.
Just kidding, it doesn't count. All right, Carter Hutton, hockey or no?
Carter Hart? Is that what you said?
Hutton.
Hutton. Oh, I don't know. Name like Carter, kind of. I'm gonna lean hockey.
Yes, you are correct. He is hockey. Nick Schmaltz.
Can we save Carter Hart, by the way? Like, can we just this man does not deserve.
Listen, here's the deal. I know you don't really like hockey that much. I actually do like hockey. You know why we don't talk about it? Because the Flyers suck. They're not worth our time.
They lost 12 in a row.
They've lost 12 games in a row. Why? What do we want to talk about? I don't want to talk about that. And it's the same. It's Groundhog's Day. It's around the drain and around the drain and around the drain. I don't want to. It's the same conversation. It's the same talk, same conversation. That's why we don't talk about them. There's nothing to talk about. When there's something for them to talk about, we'll talk about them. Connor Timmins, hockey or no?
I'm going the Connors. What's going to dictate me to say hockey?
You are correct. He is hockey. All right. Riley Nash, hockey or no?
I'm going with the Riley again. These are hockey names if I've ever heard them. I'm going hockey.
You are 3 for 3.
Oh,
3 for 3.
Oh.
Chris Evans, hockey or no?
No, he's an actor.
Look at you. You are correct.
I forget. I know he's in big movies, but I forget what he's in. But I know he's an actor.
Tom Hiddleston. Hockey or no?
Can you say that last name again?
Hiddleston.
I'm gonna go no.
5, 4, 5.
Oh,
Lou Erickson. Hockey or no?
I can't see a Lou playing hockey, so no.
He is hockey.
He is.
Yes. All right, last one. Jay Beagle. Hockey or no?
Oh no, I don't believe he plays hockey.
He plays hockey.
He does. Okay.
5 out of 7, not bad. It's a win.
I'm 3 out of 4 for the month of January.
Yeah, look at you.
Whew. Now, question.
Mhm.
I thought Jay Beagle was the guy that from How I Met Your Mother. Is that not him?
Which character was that?
Like the main person, isn't that him? Isn't he also?
I don't remember their names.
Isn't he also the guy from Forgetting Sarah Marshall? Is that the same guy?
I don't remember.
No.
They're actually doing How I Met Your Father with Hilary Duff.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
Yeah, it's on a streaming service. I don't care that much.
Yeah, I'm good on that. I mean, I wasn't even really the biggest fan of How I Met Your Mother. I mean,
I liked it to a point. Like I thought it was entertaining for the first couple seasons. It dragged on a little bit too long.
See, my brother,
because it started to get the twist and turn started to get a little bit too much. So no.
Yeah, my brother was real big into it, and he tried to get me into it, but
it could be funny.
I don't despise it like I despise Friends or The Office, but it's definitely not too high up on my list.
I mean, it's not bad looking at Allison Hannigan. You look at her a lot.
I don't know who that is.
She's the redhead.
Oh, okay.
One time for band camp. She's a
Okay.
guy also.
Take your word for it.
Yeah, facts only. Fact
Okay.
no printer.
So Friday we'll be doing MLB Hall of Fame.
Yes, lot to unpack there.
We'll have Devin on the show.
Yes, hopefully big Ozark talk.
Yeah, maybe big. If she's caught up on Ozark, we will be discussing Ozark. So, fair warning, Friday's episode will have spoilers.
I am completely caught up, and baby,
I'm about halfway done.
it's a good. We may have to have the Ozark Breaking Bad conversation.
Let me finish this, and
we may have to have that conversation. Now we're gonna have to wait till after the next part, but we may have to have that conversation.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll talk that. Obviously, championship weekend. So we'll be talking some football, previewing those matchups for you. We have a major Sean McVay scoop.
Yes.
That we're going to drop on Friday.
Yes.
Major Sean McVay scoop. So look forward to that. And hopefully Embiid keeps doing Embiid things.
I will say this: if Jonah was my son, I would beat that ass.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like him either in a lot of ways, but like it's hard because they've got him in a world that he shouldn't. Like the kids laundering money at 14. Like it's ridiculous. But anyway,
also the thing is, I did not realize how much the younger actors in Ozark has aged since last season.
Yeah, like Jonah. Jonah looks.
Specifically,
Charlotte looks basically the same because she was already peaking.
She was college age,
so. Right? So she looks basically the same. You know what's crazy too about that family? They all look like they could be a family. Like Charlotte and Jonah look alike, and Wendy looks like she'd be Charlotte's mom. They all look like they could actually be a real family.
Yeah,
I love the fact that everything pops off at dinner time. Like they try to have the family dinners.
They're trying to have a good meal,
downhill and awry,
and it's just like, listen, it's sacred time for us. We're trying.
Like they've taken that. You know that scene. One of my favorite scenes of Breaking Bad is I think it's the last season. When like Skylar's doing her Skylar, she's in her head now and whatever.
I hated her.
I know, me too. And Jesse comes over to the house to see Walt, and Walt invites him for dinner. And they're sitting at the table, and Jesse's eating. He's asking her how she got I think it's the Brussels sprouts, and like it's just uncomfortable, and it's just plates clanging. They do that literally once an episode.
Yep.
Where it's just an awkward dinner conversation about something like something terrible they're committing, which is awesome. But yeah, I'm really happy with how everything turned out. We'll definitely hopefully get to that on Friday, but definitely Monday. Big championship talk, big McVay talk, and whatever else we got. So until next time, Mark, be tweeting everywhere.
At Justin Emery Show on the Bluebird app.
Brian Emery showed up. I'm sorry, Brian Emery Pod for the merch. BrianEmeryShow.com.
No.
What's happening?
No,
what is going on?
Follow the show at Brad Emery.
Yeah, Brian Emery. Okay, let's scroll. Brian Emery Pod for the merch. BrianEmeryShow.com for the gear.
BrianEmeryShow.com for the merch.
Use the promo code Bremy for 10% off the beef jerky outlet. It's so weird. I've done this millions of times. That's never happened before. So weird, but whatever. First time for everything. You know what it is? I play Mohamed Salah.
That's fair. The people, they got my back. You know, the people are watching. So use promo code Bremy10 for 10% off your first in-app order at District Taco.
And until next time, you can be with us, you can be against us, but you're never going to stop us. Late.